But things pick up immensely for us right now as we mix it up with two great ones, two great friends of the show. Josh Kravitz and Robert Hornak are here. Josh is an attorney and a Democratic district leader in New York City, and Robert is a quite the veteran Republican consultant and strategist. Hello, boys. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
Friday, John. Thank you so much for having me.
I heard you guys, before I came into the segment, chatting in the background that you have homemade haircuts. Is that true?
I have a homemade haircut. Robert's holding out until he gets his person.
My hair is the longest it's been since the 1980s.
You look like you should be in a 70s rock band.
We got there.
The wing.
You
got the wings. Hey, Josh, I never see you cut that tight. You usually got the nice flop over in the front.
I know.
The trendy cool cut.
It's real short up front here. Got nothing here. Right now.
You look good. You must be out there with the militants. That's why you had to trim it up a little bit.
Exactly.
So, guys, I guess there's like a tale of two cities right now. What's going on with the presidential race? There's Liz Smith, who's Joe Campaign's kind of campaign manager or whatever she is, says that it's really good for Joe Biden to be working from home. And then Trump wants to go out there and do rallies and stuff. What do you say about this, Josh? Shouldn't they be out on the campaign trail at some point?
I mean, look, they have to play it by ear in relation to the public health crisis that we have going on. But what I think Joe Biden is doing is by taking this seriously, he's demonstrating a very fundamental fact, that he believes in science, that he believes in taking serious things seriously, that he believes in doing what the experts tell him. These are all things that Donald Trump does not do. Donald Trump will say, let's have a rally in Oklahoma, in Tulsa, or in Arizona, and let's not wear masks. Those are super spreader events. And so the majority of Americans understand the stakes of the coronavirus.
But hey, Josh, are these all these rallies and protests and autonomous zones and everything, are they super spreader events?
Any gathering is a super spreader event, but the president of the United States is supposed to be the leader of this nation. And when he goes around and says, well, masks aren't mandatory. In fact, I'm not ever going to wear a mask. And you really shouldn't either. He is endangering people, and people follow the rules. I mean, in Florida now, people are starting to be mandated to wear masks. Some cities in the South where the rates are rising, and people are following the rules and taking it seriously. They just need leadership. They just need to be told what to do. And Donald Trump refuses to tell people what to do.
Robert, are you buying this? Because it seems like hypocrisy to me to say a 7,500 person event is a super spreader, but 10,000 people in Washington Square Park is not a super spreader.
Of course it's hypocrisy. Look, John, they were saying the exact opposite tune last week, the week before, when these protests were taking place. They said, oh no, the protests should go forward. We don't have to worry. Everybody will be fine. And then as soon as Donald Trump wants to hold a rally with a few thousand people, all of a sudden, oh my God, it's the end of the world. The reality is Donald Trump does take this very seriously. He had never told anybody.
He doesn't take this seriously at all, and everyone knows it. Don't. I mean, you're trolling us. You're telling me that he takes it seriously. He's saying he wants to reduce testing. And let me just give you some real facts.
Go to that.
No, it wasn't a joke. He said it's not
never directed anybody to reduce testing. They had four of the leading.
I know that he's doing it. Let me give you two stats. Being outside reduces the rate of transmission by 18%. Being outside reduces the rate of transmission by 18%. Wearing a mask by 5%.
Let's take a look at what Joe Biden just said the other day. I'm sorry, Josh. I'd like to finish my point. I was very polite and let you talk.
No, but you know what, Robert? People are dying. People are dying. And you're not going to look at what's right in front of your face. You're not going to look at the fact that he's taking it seriously. Look at the curve of every other industrialized country that took it seriously. And then look at ours. It's flat. And it's going up. It's because of his leadership. So let's be real. Because people are dying. This isn't a joke. This isn't about politics.
It's very serious.
Joe Biden.
People are dying all over the world. Here's the hard reality. Joe Biden said the other day.
Hard reality is people dying.
May I speak, please? Joe Biden said we can't get our economy going again. We can't resume any part of a normal life until we learn to control the virus. His exact words: control the virus. This is the problem with leftists always. They have this illusion that they can control everything by passing laws and instituting regulations. Okay, what we need to do is learn to adapt.
Do we control polio? Do we control polio by vaccinating people?
Gosh, this virus isn't going away next week. Meanwhile, our economy is falling apart. People are starving. People are getting sick. There are real world consequences to shutting down our economy.
Yeah, businesses are
That is
dying.
actually every expert would
just
tell
ignore
you.
every other problem that we have. And say,
I
well,
see you guys are in rare form. All right, I see you guys are in rare form today, which I love it. I'm just sitting back having a black cherry white claw myself. But let's hit a couple more topics and see if we can keep it going. Apparently, the Senate had a police reform bill that Charles Schumer and company shot down. Now the House apparently passing a sweeping police overhaul, which is probably going to be dead on arrival at the Senate. Why can't we find some common ground and get one step going forward, Josh?
Well, I mean, the reason why we can't get common ground is because we don't have an agreement. We don't have agreement about what police reform really means. Do we want real police reform, or do we want some things around the margins and keep things as they structurally have been for forever? On the left, we want real reform. We want to think about things completely differently. We want to talk about what social services mean. We want to talk about the militarization of the police. We want to talk about the fact that why are 5 police cars zooming down the street for one incident of a mentally ill person? These are the conversations that we need to have about what policing really means. Yes. Do we need police? Yes. Do we need police to sometimes use force? Yes. Do we need police to protect us from violence? Yes. Everyone acknowledges that. But there's also a lot of other things that go on that don't need to be police. There are health issues. There are mental health issues. There are a lot of things that the police do not need to be involved in. But these guys are carrying guns, and their job is often to use force. And we need to think about the ways in which policing gets used in the United States.
All right, so
And
do you
need to talk
think?
about accountability.
Let me follow up on that. Here in New York, De Blasio is saying he's going to cut about $1 billion in funding to cops. I did a little segment the other day talking about how there's a new 911 system being rolled out, next generation 911 across the country. It's going to cost us $35 billion to roll that out, which breaks down to about $100 for every one of the 350 million people in our country. What would you say, Josh, about people who want to defund the police opting out of 911 so that we save $100 and then they don't have to call the cops?
I think it's I don't even know where to begin. I'll start with the fact that De Blasio is against, and I'm not a De Blasio supporter, so you would know that. We've agreed on that.
I know that you're not a supporter, but I'm saying if you want to defund it, here's one way. You don't even have to defund it. Just don't call 911 anymore. That's one way you could have no cops in your life.
Look, we understand. It's just it's a moot point. It's a moot point. It's like a little creative. Like home that the right made to say, oh well, now you don't have to call. The point being is
well,
that...
I mean, that's the point here, is for me to try to ask insightful and thoughtful questions.
Police are a social service. They are a social service for all of us. They're for all of our benefit. We give them a monopoly on force in this country, and rightfully so. We give a subset of people the right to use force to protect property and to protect people from violence. That is a good thing. But if they go around and they're unaccountable, and they go around and on every police report they say, oh yeah, the person was resisting arrest. You know what? No, they weren't. Now we have police cams, body cams, and we see that they weren't.
Wait, Rob, I gotta tell you, I gotta wrap it up here. But Rob, just let me give you the last word. I was raised by a cop. My father was a cop. He said, I know you're a troublemaker, but if the cops get called, the first thing you do is you say, yes, officer, no, officer, do not resist, because anything can go wrong and you can wind up getting killed. So I think a lot of this emanates from maybe better training with the cops, and then better training of people that, okay, if you get yourself in a jam, don't resist. I don't know.
Well, look, John, at 2 o'clock in the morning, nobody picks up the phone and says, please, someone's breaking into my house, send a social worker right away. That will never happen. The reality, however, is because of the coronavirus shutdown and the collapse of our economy, there's going to be cuts in funding across the board. All of our social services are going to be hit. So there's not going to be more money for social services, and there's not going to be more money for cops, unfortunately.
All right.
What we need is better training, advanced training in use of force and how to use that discretion and that authority that we give them, so that we make sure that we have the best trained, most effective police on the job.
I got to leave it there, boys.
That's going to be our goal.
Thank you, Robert.
If you want to ring the bell.
Josh, Robert, yeah, okay. We all agree we hate De Blasio. Fantastic. Yes. Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Have a great weekend. You, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We're coming back with more Liquid Lunch right after this.